I can see so many people raising their hands. So before the, ideally we don't do this, but before we start, let me quickly just ask only two people to ask questions so that I understand why. But normally, you can only ask questions after the press conference. I would call on Dr. Goodluck, please. Dr. Goodluck, if you could kindly unmute yourself. Okay, I think Dr. Goodluck has got his audio. So can we have Korede, please ask your question before we start. Korede, kindly unmute. What of Kevin? Kevin Ugo, kindly unmute.
Okay, good day, everybody. I greet everybody. I think today is going to be the first day of starting a program with a question. So I'm delighted to ask the question before the program.
So what's your question? Kindly go straight to the point, please.
Okay, so I saw the topic of today, force majeure. I want to know this thing of constitution, force majeure, with the northerners, because the problem we have is the north, or as in the north itself. Will they agree or will they allow this to happen?
Okay, thank you. Your question is well noted. Those are questions that you can leave at the end of the meeting. I thought the question has to do with maybe the structure of this event today. Therefore, everybody will be muted once more. Thank you very much for your question. Thank you. So we are still waiting on the professor and Nadi to join us, then we can quickly go live.
I want to know. I want to know. Years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria will die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my father. Oh, yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria? Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria will die. Nigeria, which way Nigeria? Where to go? I love my father. Oh, yeah. I want to know which way Nigeria. Inefficiency and indiscipline is ruining the country now. Corruption here, there, and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Save Nigeria, so Nigeria will die. Sure, sure. I want to know where Nigeria. We made mistakes during the oil boom, not knowing that was our doom. Some people now have everything, while many, many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria will fall. Yes, I want to know. Green revolution is a reality. Let's give it a chance to grow. Let's join our hands to farm the land so we can have enough food to show. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria will die. Which way? Oh, sure. Yes, I want to know. Our ambition to be millionaires is running the country down.
So welcome once more, everyone here. Majeure speaking once more. As you all may be aware, there is a
Which way to go? Oh yeah, I want to know. Yes, I want to know.
Okay, so let me cut you off and admit. Okay.
Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way, Nigeria? Which way? Which way, Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way, Nigeria? Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way, Nigeria? Which way? Which way, Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know. Which way, Nigeria? Inefficiency and indiscipline is ruining the country now. Corruption here, there, and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way, Nigeria? Which way, Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh, sure, sure. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way, Nigeria? Made mistakes during the oil boom, not knowing that was our doom. Some people now have everything, while many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria will fall. Which way, Nigeria? Which way, Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way, Nigeria? Green revolution is a reality. Let's give it a chance to grow. Let's join our hands to farm the land so we can have enough food to show. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way, Nigeria? Which way? Which way, Nigeria? Where to go? Where to go? I love my fatherland. Oh, sure. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way, Nigeria? Our ambition to be millionaires is running the country down.
Yes. Please change to your real name. It's oversubscribed, so I don't know. I need to know which one. I've admitted a couple of tweets. I have Galaxy Tab A.
So Nigeria will fall.
It's back, with due respect to the president and the people of Nigeria. Jaga Jaga is not an abusive word. I mean, Jaga Jaga has just been
one shot in the air. Nigeria, Jaga, Jaga. Everything scatter. Oh, it's suffer. Gosa, one shot in the air. I'm rubber into your house. Take money in a radio eye. Went straight up to your head side. Gosa, same now with that. I don't want Johnny. The political and rubber in that. Now we think they kill Nigeria. Nigeria, Jaga. Everything scatter. Oh, it's suffer. Gosa, one shot in the air. Nigeria, Jaga. Everything scatter. Oh, it's suffer. Gosa, one shot in the air. If you say Kiyamo, Bia, then not come for jail for Abuja. It's like I've been said they for care. I defend them, they don't know them. Yeah, it's like praising. Everything scatter. Suffer. Gosa, one shot in the air, what you say? Nigeria, Jaga. Everything scatter. Come on, they suffer. Gosa, one shot in the air. Nigeria, Jaga. Everything scatter. Come on, they suffer. Gosa, one shot in the air.
Hold on. Who am I? Is he here?
Hold on, no. Give that Akintoye, no. Let me check. Hold on. The thumbs up. Hold on.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. No, there is no Akin here. iPhone what? There are so many iPhones there. iPhone Julia, iPhone Stella. I don't know. Okay, ask him to raise up his hand. Ask him to raise up his hand now. Listen. No, I haven't. Please, can you? No. Let him use his device. Someone hate you when you can device. From the device. So welcome once more, everybody. Majeure is okay once more speaking to us. We are good to go. I am here speaking to us as the CEO on Ginger Media TV. For those of you who can hear me, we will go live shortly. This, as I've said before, is an epoch-making event. We do now have the privilege of having Professor Akintoye here, and we will quickly move to Professor Akintoye to take over and deliver the message that we all have been waiting for. So let me know once they are ready to do that. We will quickly bring him in. So I am, okay. Can you please quickly unmute from your end? Can you quickly unmute, please? Can someone help him unmute, please? Can someone please help him unmute? If you are sitting in that room and you can hear me loud and clear, can someone quickly help him unmute quickly? Please, can someone ask the professor to unmute? We are waiting for them to unmute from their side, then we can start quickly. Please, can someone? Okay, maybe Tony, I might have to. Can you quickly unmute, please? Can you quickly unmute? Can you quickly unmute the professor, please? Tony, if you can hear me loud and clear, can you ask them to unmute the professor, please, so that he can start?
Chief Imam.
Okay.
Chief Imam.
Unmute.
Okay.
Yoruba of
So-
Kwara State. Thank you for coming.
Now,
Yeah, you were muted before.
okay, Professor, if you can hear me right now.
Okay, they want me to start now.
Yes, you
Okay.
can start now.
Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen of the press, thank you for being here. And thank you all for honoring this very historic moment in the life of our people. I thank the leader, the chairman of Ilana Modua, Professor Wale Adenina. I thank the Secretary Homeland, the Homeland Secretary of Ilana Modua. I thank Professor Majeure from the United States, who has found time to make it to come for this conference. I thank Ademola Edward, who is a very important person in the evolution of a united front for our people in the diaspora. I thank you all. I thank you, Ababa, Chief Oyedeji from the Okeogun area of our state. Thank you all. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mrs. Akintoye, my wife, who is great, who is joyful to see this very historic moment and is here with us. I cannot mention many more names. We have a short time to get this done. This is being carried worldwide on Zoom, and there are already thousands of people who are taking part across the world. So it's a very major event in the life of our people. This is and I thank all the 130 signatories to the December 16, 2020 Constitutional Force Majeure Declaration. I know you are not here, but I know that you are watching and you are taking part from different parts of the world. This is the Constitutional Force Majeure Union dispute and the expiration of the 90-day notice of grave constitutional grievances. Is the next steps for the trapped ethnic nations of Nigeria. The next steps for the trapped ethnic nations of Nigeria. This is the text of a world press conference by the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, NINAS. And it is being delivered by me as chairman of the alliance, Professor Banji Akintoye. Thank you, everybody. As the distressed Federation of Nigeria continues to wobble through what seems its terminal throes, it will be recalled that the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, NINAS, aggregating the indigenous nations and peoples of southern and middle belt of Nigeria, who have found themselves at the receiving end of a most vicious ethnic cleansing onslaught by heavily armed invading Fulani militia, who are masquerading as herdsmen, formally declared a union dispute with the Federation of Nigeria as represented by the federal government of Nigeria via the Constitutional Force Majeure Proclamation of December 16, 2020, in which it made a 5-point demand upon the federal government of Nigeria to formally commence the remediation of the great constitutional grievances enumerated in the said proclamation within a period of 90 days, beginning from the midnight of December 16, 2020. The full text of the December 16 proclamation was published unedited as an editorial in the January 2021 edition of the copies of the proclamation were also dispatched to the President of Nigeria, the Secretary General of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation of Nigeria, the President of Nigeria's House of Representatives, the Friends of Speakers of State Assemblies of Nigeria, the United Nations, the European Union, African Union missions in Nigeria, and the ambassadors of the United States, China, Russia, France, Germany, Belgium, and Japan to Nigeria, the High Commissioners of the United Kingdom and Australia to Nigeria, ECOWAS Secretariat, and other stakeholders. We report to you now that at the expiration of the 90-day period noticed by the midnight of March 16, 2020, no formal contact was made with NINAS by the federal government of Nigeria. And so we are gathered here today, March 17, 2021, at 5 p.m. to inform our people in all our 3 regions, as well as the international community, what our next steps will be in our resolve to extricate ourselves from the death trap and bondage unitary Nigeria has become to our various peoples. In refusing to step forward to the table of dialogue and negotiation, and in the characteristic arrogant disposition of the federal government of Nigeria, we wish to call your attention to several knee-jerk, patchwork, and bad faith options that the federal government of Nigeria chose to pursue in desperation to once again evade the sovereignty question it had been evading since 1967, instead of embracing the comprehensive framework tabled by the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, NINA, via the December 16, 2020 proclamation. In this regard, we note the emergency conference anchored by Channels Television and tagged Pulling Nigeria Back from the Brink, featuring Nasir El-Rufai, governor of Kaduna State, who chaired the APC Restructuring Committee, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, governor of Ekiti State, who is chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, as well as Engineer Aberibe, senator and Senate Minority Leader. In their various presentations at the conference, they spoke of the urgency of the Nigerian situation. They alluded to many of the grave constitutional grievances raised by the NINAS proclamation, but without any direct mention of NINAS or the December 16, 2020 Force Majeure proclamation. In what seemed like an unprecedented bipartisan consensus and legislative executive cooperation, they all agreed that immediate remediation steps need to be taken forthwith, including the return of Niger Delta's oil and gas assets to its owner, the decentralization of policing to allow state and local government police, but most curiously, the proposed urgent amendments to the 1999 Constitution and the invocation of the doctrine of necessity by the National Assembly to commence the remediation process. NINAS interprets this attempt to railroad the Constitution. Of the fundamental sovereignty question relating to but now by the constituent components of that, sovereignties are currently hijacked and confiscated by the Nigerian state via the fraudulent 1999 constitution. This interpretation stems from the fact that the National Assembly, which itself is a product of the Constitution, a few months ago acknowledged that it has no constitutional power. Vests exclusively in the constituent component nationalities of Nigeria as an incident of their sovereignty. It indeed amounts to treason for the National Assembly of the exclusive branch of the federal government to continue to usurp the sovereignty, the executive branch of the federal government, to continue to usurp the sovereignty of the people of Nigeria, confiscated by the fraudulent 1999 Constitution, which is already repudiated and rejected by the people of Nigeria, especially in the alliance territory, as represented by NINAS. NINAS also sees external collaboration to this treasonous conduct of the National Assembly, when groups of individuals craft and present to the National Assembly proposals inviting the National Assembly to embark on the exercise of writing or rewrite the Constitution of Nigeria via amendment, without the constituent component nationalities first addressing sovereignty dispute. Those external collaborators also talk about inserting a national referendum provision in the 1999 Constitution.
How are you?
Please. I know our voice is talking.
Commandeer and railroad our high-guard protective sovereignty to the National Assembly. There was also a recent suggestion by Nigeria's Senate President Senator Lawa, that the assignment of constitutional roles to traditional rulers in Nigeria would solve the broken down security of Nigeria. These are all parts of begging the question. We have to talk about it. We have to ask Mr. President, why is the government constitutional role not resolve the security act of Nigeria or even of the various states? In all, it is clear to leaders that both the federal government of Nigeria and the National Assembly of Nigeria are fully aware of the great constitutional grievances into regime of security running one. The government of Boko Haram or bandits read the December 16, 2020 Constitutional Force Majeure Proclamation, and for the purpose of putting a contextual backdrop to the post-notice action outlines that we shall be spelling out today, permit me to read in full the 5 demands of the December 16, 2020 proclamation, along with the paragraphs immediately preceding the demand and the one immediately after it, that is the closing paragraph, so that we can better understand the reasoning behind the extraordinary measure of constitutional force majeure, as well as the implications for the depressed Nigerian union and various stakeholders, including government, political parties, international interest. 20 proclamation. Quote, accordingly, with the undersigned being accredited representatives of the indigenous nationalities of Nigeria, Southern and Middle Belt territories, hereinafter called the Alliance territories, constituting over 75% of the population of Nigeria, on behalf of the peoples of the Alliance territories, and in the invocation of the universal rights of the pertinent to our sovereignty as indigenous peoples of the distressed Nigerian Federation, including the right to self-determination as enshrined in the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples 2007, as well as the United Nations Charter on Human Rights, having exhausted every democratic people-driven process in seeking an orderly redress for the aforementioned grave constitutional grievances emanating from the unilateral imposition of a unitary constitutional order on our supposed federal union by a section of Nigeria that has also imposed Sharia in their own part of our supposed secular union. And now, in circumstances that have become an extraordinary emergency for our people, being confronted by the clear and present danger of extermination in the hands of our supposed compatriots in Nigeria, who are pursuing an ethnic cleansing campaign against the indigenous nationalities of Nigeria, hereby declare a sovereignty dispute with the Federation of Nigeria as represented by the federal government of Nigeria on account of our repudiation and rejection of the imposed 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, whose authorship was fraudulently imputed to us by the preamble to that constitution in its false claim that, quote, we the people made, enacted, and gave to ourselves the said 1999 Constitution, with a further lie in that same preamble that we had firmly and solemnly resolved to submit our peoples and our lands into the Union of Nigeria. Furthermore, in invocation of our long suppressed collective sovereignties, we hereby proclaim a constitutional force majeure effective from the midnight of the 16th day of December 2020, with a 90-day notice to the government of the Federation of Nigeria, the Security Council of the United Nations, the government of the United States of America, the European Union and the African Union, as well as international other agencies of the international community, of the intentions of the Alliance territories to consider our continued allegiance to the disputed 1999 Constitution, as well as the unitary union of death, attrition, and backwardness that it has foisted upon us. For the sake of peace and to avoid anarchy, it is our demand that in the 90-day period of this notice, the following specific actions must be taken by the federal government of Nigeria to firmly set in motion an irreversible process by which the aforementioned grave constitutional grievances will be addressed. A formal announcement by the federal government of Nigeria. These are the specific demands. A formal announcement by the federal government of Nigeria acknowledging the constitutional grievances and sovereignty dispute now declared by the peoples of the South and Middle Belt of Nigeria. B, a formal commitment by the federal government of Nigeria to the wholesale decommissioning and jettisoning of the 1999 Constitution as the basis of the Federation of Nigeria, as was done by the government of apartheid-era South Africa in 1990, to commence the process by which the apartheid constitution of the then South Africa was eased out. C, a formal announcement by the federal government of Nigeria suspending further general elections under the disputed 1999 Constitution, since Winners of such elections will swear to and govern by that constitution. D, a formal invitation to the peoples of the South and Middle Belt of Nigeria to work out and embrace a transitional authority which has specified the modalities for the transitioning process, including the composition and mandate of the transitional authority, as well as the time frame for the transitioning and other ancillary matters. E, a formal initiation of a time-bound transitioning process to midwife the emergence of a fresh constitutional process by a two-stage process, in which the constituent regional bloc will be will at the first stage distill and ratify the various constitutions by referendums and plebiscites, and in the second stage, negotiate the terms of federating afresh, as may be dictated by the outcomes of the referendum and plebiscites. By this proclamation, let it be known to all, including international money lenders, that Nigeria is now a disputed project, and that while the constituent component commits to honoring existing international debt obligations, we call
Please kindly bear with us. I think there are some technical issues here, and that will be shortly resolved. And we hope to get back to the professor shortly. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
unmute so that I can hear you. We're back on.
It is therefore our expectation
Okay.
It is therefore our expectation that you, our politicians and political parties, will stand with the people you claim to seek to serve as politicians or political parties in their current resolve to wind up the operation of the 1999 Constitution and to extinguish the source of their misery. If instead of standing with your own people, you choose to go to another round of general elections in 2023 under that Constitution, it will simply mean that you are a part of the enemy-imposed mechanism for inflicting death, mystery, and hypocrisy. Proclamation commits themselves to providing a detailed proposition for undertaking this fundamental configuration of the damaged constitutional basis of Nigeria. In this regard, the signatories adopt and incorporate the MNN Alliance's November 16, 2018 open memorandum to President Muhammadu Buhari on the restructuring debate, reported by the Guardian of November 18, 2018, as an outline of our prescriptions in this proclamation. Issued this 16th day of December 2020, end of quote. 6, before I proceed with the next steps, and the next steps are very important, permit me to make a few clarifications. Stance of the sovereignty dispute we declare, and about the exact remediation propositions we made. 1, the constitutional force majeure is a carefully designed, decisive action process that will continue until it achieves its twin objectives of peacefully easing out the imposed fraudulent 1999 Constitution of Nigeria and the orderly emergence of successor constitutional protocol in keeping with the self-determination rights of the constituent component ethnic nations of the distressed Federation of Nigeria. It is therefore not a one-day Armageddon in which the roof of heavens will fall upon the earth, as been speculated by some commentators, whether out of ignorance or mischief. 2, the 90-day period of notice was for the federal government to fully consider the grievances raised and to bring itself to the table of dialogue set up by the agreed constitutional components of Nigeria. In that period, NENAS persuaded the peoples of the Alliance bloc to refrain from any acts that might aggravate the volatile situation of Nigeria, even in the face of severe provocation, such as when, amidst much killings across Nigeria, the governor of Banji State, Bala Mohammed, recklessly declared that the murderous Fulani herdsmen rampaging everywhere in Nigeria had the right under the Constitution to be in every part of Nigeria and to carry AK-47 rifles. This means that after the 90-day period of notice, The peoples of Nigeria are aggregated in the alliance. We proceed with various processes towards achieving the objectives of the Demand 16 2020 proclamation, namely the easing out of the fraudulent 1999 constitution and the distillation of successor constitutional protocols. 2. The next line of action expressly indicated by NINAS in the proclamation is that of reconsideration of the continued allegiance to the 1999 Constitution. It is important to state that here that the exact processes by which the reconsideration will be enacted shall be communicated to the public in measured steps as the days progress. And so NENAS hereby invites all stakeholders to be on the lookout for directions, every care being taken to avoid anarchy or any kind of breakdown of order. 4, building upon the former repudiation of the 1999 Constitution by the constituent components of Nigeria, including by solemn assemblies over the last 20 years, the joint proclamation of December 16, 2020 by NINA was to serve notice of the impending formal withdrawal of the contrived consent forged signature of the peoples of Nigeria by which the 1999 Constitution is being sustained and validated as basis of the Nigerian Union and its government. The press conference of today is to commence the retirement process. The press conference of today is to commence the retirement process of the 1999 Constitution in a manner that restores the hijacked sovereignties of the constituent components of all through a transitioning process that contains existing governance structures throughout the transitioning period, as South Africa did to itself out of the apartheid constitution. Constitutional order. Come on. How are you? Yeah. Okay. Now to the next steps. Now to the next step.
Absolute silence, please. All the way.
Silence, please.
Absolute.
After due consultation with our stakeholders, bearing in mind that the 5-point demand contained in the December 16, 2020 proclamation was addressed to the federal government of Nigeria, and considering the fact that in the event that matters progress to the reconsideration of allegiance to the 1999 Constitution, political office holders from the alliance territories who will be directly impacted may be caught in the middle of a dispute to which they have not been made parties. NINAS therefore deems it unless to first bring so impacted. Accordingly, NINAS hereby invites all elected public office holders from the alliance territory, that is the middle belt, the southwest, the southeast, and the south-south, within a period of 30 days commencing 20. Formally extend affected persons and such details as modalities, dates, time, and venue shall be communicated along with the invitation. Our elected officials, our governors, our senators, our representatives, and so on, may claim that they have not been told about this thing. So within the next 30 days, we will invite them and place it before them. In the aforementioned 30-day period of consultation, Nigerians enjoys the peoples of the Alliance territory, particularly the younger generation, at home and abroad. The younger generation are the most affected by all these things that are happening at home and abroad. It is more your country, than any other persons. In the aforementioned 30-day period of consultation, Ninas enjoys the peoples of the Alliance territory, particularly the younger generation at home and abroad, whose futures have been badly compromised by the Nigerian state. To intensify the enlightenment about the December 16, 2020 constitutional force majeure proclamation among the public, with a view to mobilizing the local populace towards the inevitable engagement with political parties and political merchants from their locality, who, for humongous personal gains, cling tenaciously to the 1999 Constitution, and even planning to partake in further national elections in 2023 under that Constitution, at a time when the people they claim to lead and represent are struggling to ease out the same 1999 Constitution from which all their miseries flow, including killing, gross insecurity, and mass impoverishment, and which make them slaves in their own homeland. The political parties must now be persuaded to close shop forthwith, albeit temporary, until the constitution by which the winners of any future elections, especially the 2020 election, will govern. Since all political parties in Nigeria operate under the 1999 Constitution, and the winners of any elections must swear to and govern by the 1999 Constitution. This 30-day period of consultation
Once more, I think we've run into another technical issue. And for many of you watching globally, I can see beside Baba there, we have Sunday Iboho as well, for many of you who've known him in the last couple of months. So we are working once more to reconnect. I think, as many of you rightly know now, it appears the network connection is no more ordinary. I do not want to point fingers, but your guess is as good as mine. Thank you once more. Let's see if the back office are able to reconnect and bring Baba back once more so that we conclude. Thank you, everyone.
Again. Is it better now? Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Focus. Why didn't you put it? Is it okay? Of December 16, 2020, proclamation by the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalist Alliance for Self-Determination offers Nigerians, and the concerned international community the most viable, most comprehensive, and most peaceful framework for undertaking the inevitable fundamental reconsideration of the damaged constitutional basis of Nigeria. As we may all recall, the situation of Nigeria compelled the United Nations Special Rapporteur to Nigeria. As we may all recall, the situation of Nigeria compelled the United Nations Special Rapporteur to Nigeria, Agnes Callamard, in the September 2019 visitation to describe the constitutional arrangement of Nigeria as, I'm quoting her now, a pressure cooker for injustice. That's what the United Nations representative said. That the 1999 Nigerian Constitution is, quote, a pressure cooker for injustice in circumstances that pose a threat to global security in the event that Nigeria snaps. Since the most notorious global terror networks, including ISIS and Al-Qaeda, are already converging in the large swathes of ungoverned spaces in Nigeria, offers and with frightening prospects of an unprecedented refugee crisis for the world, should Nigeria become broken. As we sit here today, we are already seeing the beginnings of the flood of Nigerian refugees into the rest of West Africa, particularly the Yoruba, who are now taking refuge in Benin Republic. So it's already happening. What that woman said could happen is already happening. Now that Sheikh Gumi has helped us piece together the last pieces of the jigsaw puzzle regarding who are the terrorists tormenting Nigeria, where they are, what their motives are, what the Nigerian government and security agencies know, and yet no religious fissure within the terror battlefield. Ninas is confident
Unmute. I have. Yes, unmute.
Okay.
Go, sir.
Right. All right. The last very important paragraph. For the avoidance of doubt, the Nina's proclamation of constitutional dispute of December 16, 2020 terminated the life of the fraudulent 1999 constitution. For the avoidance of doubt, the Nina's proclamation of December 2020, of December 16, 2020, terminated the life of the fraudulent 1999 constitution of Nigeria, and therefore restored our sovereignty that was confiscated by that constitution. So we now are in control of our own self-determination. What we are doing today is to outline the processes and modality for the necessary and orderly transition to our full self-determination and sovereignty in the world. Therefore, we hereby call on the peoples of our alliance territories, the Middle Belt, the South-South, the Southeast, and the Southwest to rise to the challenge of shaking off the shackles and manacles hitherto imposed on us by the defunct 1999 Constitution. The start before our peoples are as follows. 1, to put together and perfect the documents of their sovereignty. To put together, to create, to distill, and perfect the documents of their sovereignty, namely the map of their territory, the draft constitutions, their draft constitution, or charters of relationships for those units that are multi-ethnic. I repeat, to distill and perfect the documents of our sovereignty. Namely, the documents are the following: the exact maps of our territories. 2, are the draft constitutions of our countries, or the charters of relationships for those of our units that are multi-ethnic. 2, to embark upon and intensify our efforts towards United Nations mandated referendums and plebiscites. That's the next step. So you young people, you must now go out and tell our people. Have arrived at a point when we will ask the United Nations to come and help us run referendums so that our people can speak about their future. Do we want to be continue to be part of Nigeria, or do we want to be independent of Nigeria? That has to be done. So, in the face of the demise of the 1999 Constitution, which has been if you have been at the impediment to the control and management of our territories and resources, particularly the 68 item exclusive federal list, the governors of our states in the alliance territory are hereby advised to, in the interim, work at their state assemblies, work with their state assemblies to make necessary legislative and regulatory arrangements for the effective control and security of their respective territories as a part of their transitional process to the new order, which has been commenced today. As a part of the overall management of transition process, we call on our people to cooperate with our state governors for now, for the maintenance of law, order, peace, and good governance in our various states. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you all.
So while we
please have your seat.
are waiting,
we shall
to have some questions now.
From the press.
Only a few questions.
And
we'll come back to them. We're still in the studio in London.
We are still in the studio, please. We'll come back to those 3 questions. We're still in the studio in London, so we'll come back to you. Please prepare your questions. Only 3.
Yeah, go on. We can hear you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Professor Banji Akintoye there. That was a well-delivered speech, Professor. Quickly, if you can hear me loud and clear, we have over 50 media houses, both in-house and online, and over 1 million Nigerians and the diasporans are currently viewing the live feed. Now, coming back to Tony, if you can hear me quickly, are we able to extract some 1 or 2 minutes comment from Sunday Igboho, please?
Okay, very much so.
They want to hear.
You can hear him. You can lift it and take closer to him.
So,
come closer. Can you see him now?
Okay, yes, I think Sunday Igboho could be seen very clearly. And can you quickly, if Sunday, you have heard what the professor have said. I don't know if you have any comment or 2 that you can make regarding what the professor said. Thank you, the press statement that has been read.
My land, my people in Yoruba. There's no going back for all our father said. We want Yoruba nation. So there's no going back.
So thank you very much. That is very loud and clear. All you all can hear from what Sunday Igboho just said now, that he aligns with what Ninas, and as it was read out by Professor Banji Akintoye there, that he aligned with every single word being read out there.
Yeah, because I'm speaking for millions of Yoruba people. So I know anything our father Banji Akintoye say is the final. So we are with him, all our people in home and abroad, to support our father to take our land. There's no going back for that statement. We want our nation.
Okay, thank you very much, Sunday Igboho there. And can we, Tony, I don't know if we do have the opportunity to take 1 more or 2 questions. There are people here who have questions to ask. Are you able to entertain at least 2 or 3 questions? Then we can, is that okay?
Right, we can take 2 questions, see where we go from there.
Okay, I will quickly take the first question from Prince Adewale. Prince Adewale, please, can you make your question very quick and snappy? You have a couple of seconds. Go ahead, Prince Adewale, please.
Good afternoon, all. I think you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. And I say good afternoon to my Baba, Professor Akintoye. Daddy, Alodi Dobale, thank you very much, sir. We're really happy and we enjoy what you've done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And our brother Tony, I'll be watching you, I'll be following you all along. We appreciate you, everything you've done from long time up to this moment. And we are very happy. Thank you very much. All I just want to say, It's just to say thank you, Daddy. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you very much. Then quickly, for you to ask your question, you must have your camera turned on. If Otumba Olabode, you must have your camera turned on. Quickly, Otumba Olabode, can you quickly ask your question? Otumba, can you make it quickly?
I've stood in the last three, sir. 3 questions.
Yeah, go on. And before we proceed, we have over 50 media houses, local media houses covering live. And so they will also ask 3 questions. We just limit them to 3 questions so that the whole world can see them and hear the answers we give to them.
Okay, it appears Otumba is not yet ready, so we're going to take someone else.
Okay.
Yes. Good afternoon, all. And I want to thank everybody. I also want to recognize Professor Banji, Akintoye, and also the good work Nandi has been doing. Now, today is the day. It's now generally been declared that at least we have no constraint. We are not on any other obligation to be part of this contraption anymore. And all we need to do now is to get ourselves united and start the work of the building of our nation. This is exactly what I've been waiting for, and I look forward to working with everybody on this platform. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Just to make it clear, what we did on the 16th of December 2020 was to invalidate and terminate the life of that constitution, that contrived constitution, because our signature was put on it and we didn't have any meeting, we didn't make the document. And so having waited for 90 days for the federal government of Nigeria to come forward so that we can all begin to work our way to what will replace that document that is now dead. They haven't come. What we're doing today is to proceed with the processes that will, move us to new constitutional arrangements, to fresh protocols amongst ourselves. And then there's still a limited for the sake of peace, for the sake of avoidance of anarchy, until we properly take over all of the functions. But all those impediments thrown at us by that constitution are no longer before. We're just going to get those who enter the governors, like you had the governors, can now proceed with whatever they need to do to secure their territories, to take hold of their assets, that they can begin to work to, in this territory until the proper constitutional arrangements are put in place. That's where we are now. We're just proceeding with the transition. When the federal government makes up its mind, it can come. If it doesn't want to come, the owners of the sovereignty are when they will try to proceed before they need to do. We are going forward.
Okay, quickly, Tony, I quite appreciate what you just said. Quickly,
now the media of Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much, Tony. There, I believe you can hear me. So please, I think, please, there is too much coming.
Expiration is radio. Okay.
Can we hear the question from Radio Nigeria, please?
Okay, our next question from the Yaduro.
decide àwọn mẹ́ta. Maxwell ló decide. Òun ló kàn ń gbọ́ ẹnu sọ ní. Mo mọ̀ mo ti ń sọ fún un. Èyí mọ̀ wọlé kò mọ̀ ọ́n ṣe àní àǹkọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ó ti náà ló máa kọ̀ ẹ̀yà máa wọlé ṣé ẹ̀rọ pé bọ́lá tí àgbà gbọ́dọ̀ jà bàbá ló sọ pé ẹrú ò gbọ́dọ̀ jà sọ kó jàmbá àbàjẹ́ náà ó máa ń sọ fún every time but kò lè change mínú ìlú kò lè change lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ̀rí pé ní ìsìnkú àti máa ń pè sọ. Ṣé ìgbẹ́ gbọ̀ngàn wá.
We have a bad audio from Nigeria there. So quickly, they're going to sort the audio back on. So we take 2 more questions from the virtual audience. Then currently a question is being asked by the Nigerian, the Radio Nigeria, I think. So once that is finished, then we're going to go back virtual to take 1, 2 more questions. Thank you. Ó sọ Yorùbá, wọ́n bá translate ẹ̀. Yorùbá ní kó sọ, then somebody will translate.
Okay, let's carry on.
No, Yorùbá la Láròyé now. Ẹ jẹ́ ó sọ Yorùbá. Ibi náà láti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ẹ tí ò bá dùn wọn kó máa lọ. Fẹ́ gbọ́ English. Kó lọ sí Punch bá fẹ́ sọ English. Aláròyé la pè náà.
Okay. The last question was from Alaroye, and he was asking about that some people are planning for doctors at the time they are getting out and that what how do we do all of this? The answer I was given, he was
institute around the very country in Nigeria. The constitution that creates and defines relationships in that union is in this dress. The owners of that are around into Nigeria are pulling back their signature from the forged instrument that creates the union. Their sovereignty is on the table. Now, Yoruba is taking back sovereignty. The eastern part and the middle belt are taking back their sovereignty, and they will decide what they want next with their sovereignty until it goes all the way to referendum. If after 90 days, the operators of Nigeria will not want to come to table for us to work it out together, the sovereignty of the components are in their hands. It is up to them to decide what they do with it, and nothing will stand in their way until they get to where they recover it fully. The people talking about restructuring, we should ask them what we want from them. There's no union in Nigeria is stressed at this moment, and the sovereignty of the constitutional component is not dependent on anything. Everybody else. Next question, please.
In this situation, we still have
the indigenous nationalities of Nigeria issued a position, a proclamation of December. In that proclamation, and I will invite the media to please go back to it. Guardian newspaper has it on the front page today. The New Telegraph has it on the front page today. The website of Indinas, www.freedomfromnigeria.com. Let's all the media houses because we spoke about this in the proclamation. Now we recognize there's a government in place. We're not anarchists. We have offered, Indinas has offered those operating the Nigerian government at this time, the Nigerian state at this time, we offered them a transitioning. We said, look, let the existing governance structure remain in place so that we can do exactly what South Africa did with our government for years before they go to new things. Therefore, if after 90 days they are not coming, they haven't come. We again said today, there's another 30 days that will make March 2021, in which the elected representatives of the three blocks in the alliance, the component, the regions in the alliance, that is elected representatives from Yoruba, from the eastern part, southeast, from the middle belt. They have been recalled, they have been invited to come home to their respective regions to consult, because the next step after what has been done already, as we said in that proclamation of 2020, the next step, which is the reconsideration of our allegiance to that constitution, will affect those people who are in Abuja representing these alliance blocks. And so we just are given another 30 days within which they should come to discuss with the people they represent in that Abuja and all the other people who are acting on behalf of with that constitution. So in that 30 days, in the press conference text of today, we again reminded the federal government that the window is still open for them to turn up. They were not waiting for them for anything. The constitution is in distress. The sovereignties of the people who are trapped in this union by that constitution is on the table for them to work out an orderly way of retrieving them. The governors, again, we already told our people to please work with the governors in the interim. The state assemblies work with the governors. Anything that constitution prevented them from doing before, they have to just sit down and if they have to pass laws, if they have to make regulations to go and
begin to do those things. The security of their people cannot depend on anything anybody is saying from anywhere else. The assets that belong to them that have been taken away without any recourse to them, because the Constitution has a 68-item exclusive list. Everything on that exclusive list, the action that have been taken right now suspends that exclusive list. Yes. The action that have been taken by the owners of Nigeria in exercise of their sovereignty puts that exclusive list on the side. We're in Ibadan today. As we were coming here, I was looking at the newspapers. The governor for your state is asking the people in Abuja to remove solid minerals from the exclusive list so that he can resume control, or your state can resume control of the solid minerals. People are mining gold all over the place and other, precious metals all over the place. And he doesn't have money to work. And those people doing the mining are killing people in all the places they have to go to mine. Farmers have been chased out. And so we are telling the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, that the constitution that put his solid minerals in Oyo in the hands of people in Abuja and distant places, people who are not willing to listen to him, people who are killing his people, that constitution is no longer on his way. Let him go and make laws and regulations to govern, to manage those assets, not only the solid minerals, everything. If there's electricity that they can generate, let them go and generate. If there are other things that they couldn't do before because that constitution said they couldn't do them, the security, the matter of security, it is that constitution that put arms and ammunition on the exclusive list. Is that constitution that say only the police and only the center can police everybody? We have seen that it has failed. People are being killed. So it is now up to them to join their people.
Okay, if you can.
Oh, okay. Radio Nigeria says that the answer has been answered. The question has been answered.
Okay, can we take another question? Can we take another question? Can we take another question from here?
Last question from Inspiration FM. Please go on. Please go on.
Okay, can we take
No
the
noise.
so can we take the next question here? May I ask Deli Ajufo to quickly unmute and ask his question?
Let's finish with this one so we can mute them from here, and we go on with the other. There's another session that must go on in the next 15 minutes. So let's Inspiration FM, please.
Okay, when the person was already in speech,
yes, yes,
we all saw how Brexit went.
Yes.
Now the question is Yoruba race ready to present a common front in other blocks to get this done? That's my question.
They've been working for 21 years now. We're only at the terminal stage of a long process to retrieve our sovereignty that have been hijacked by the carcass of the defunct federation. Nigeria as a federation collapsed in 1966. The people who seized the carcass and who now managed to impose a constitution that pretends that Nigeria is still in place, the Nigeria we agreed upon was to be a federation, was to be a secular union, was to be a union of equal partnership. Some people hijacked it. It is our sovereignty that we're talking about now because they put our signature on the forged instrument by which they're holding our sovereignties and our assets. What we have done now is we're just bringing a framework, an orderly transition from where we are now, where that constitution has collapsed and the unitary union is at an end. So the thing that will replace it, that's where the referendum comes. The global community is listening. The UN had come here in 2019 to announce to the rest of the world that the killings going on here is on account of our constitution that is like pressure cooker for injustice. The UN Special Rapporteur to Nigeria, Agnes Calamat. And so we've come to where we just need to take the balance of the process that will free those sovereignties so that we can enter into fresh protocol. There's no quarrel. You can see Yoruba is here, the Middle Belt, everybody's here. The people who are causing the problem, who are killing in all the places, are the only problem we have. So those people who owe it a duty of to kill everybody else, those people who say we cannot be in a union of equal partnership are just the ones that we have just to put the process to it so it doesn't become disorderly. We hope and pray that those who are in government house will listen to their people and come for us to work it all out together. Because people are already resorting to self-help. Only statesmen, the people, the Ninas, is a gathering of statesmen that are now saying we must stop this before it gets, consumes everybody. Now, Professor Akintoye will, give his own answer to that question.
Yes, the new day has actually been fulfilled. We have define our structure. We are going to define our structure. We have claimed our sovereignty. Self-determination. Steps are fair. In Sudan. And now present their picture.
Where is the mark of your country? Where is the mark of your country? Of the country you are talking about. Where is the mark of it? Who are the people who are that?
In the case of
Yoruba, can answer? Oh, we the Yoruba people. How do you want to govern yourself? That is the mathematical constitution. And for the Yoruba people, it is easy. We are one day, we have found our lawyer from every day. Before the United Nations will say, okay, we are going to organize a referendum for you, they want to see something. So we must produce them now. That's it. And then, those animals, like the first and south and strong, like many different
Bless you.
Somebody can come to our land to come and kill our brothers, to come and rape our sisters. We don't have to talk. We talk, they can kill you. If you talk, they can detain you, they can kill you. So enough is enough. Now, we don't want everything that we in our life to come and disturb our final our parents, our sisters. If you are meet any plan, we are ready to face him and destroy them. If any police attack us, we are ready to back, ready to this country. We are ready to waste the country that we don't have mercy for Yoruba. We are taking back our time. Yesterday, we played I did some maybe like a 5 years football. There's no fire. We don't have house to sleep. We don't have anything. India air. I swear. This country, we don't want to be here. We want enough is enough. They are so good. Bàbá tó mọ ìyá ọmọ lélẹ́yìn, bàbá ń rò pé bàbá ń bá dàgbà ṣe àbọ̀ tó ń fẹ́ jẹ́ fún àwọn tí wọ́n ti lọ. Bàbá wa gbé wa, bàbá ti gbé wa nílẹ̀ ìlérí náà ọ̀rẹ́dì. Torí pé ohun tá à ń fà yìí kò sí padà sẹ́yìn lórí ẹ̀. Kò sí o, ọ̀dẹ̀ sí ìbẹ̀rù fún ọmọ Ọlọ́run torí pé ọmọ Ọlọ́run làwa ṣe, ọmọ bàbá làwa ṣe nípa ìgbàgbọ́ nínú Kristi. Ẹ̀rù lọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa. Torí pé Ọlọ́run ló gbé bàbá wa dìde, ó sì fi àwọn ọmọ akíkẹ́ sílẹ̀. Ẹ̀rù lọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa àbẹ̀rù ẹni pọ̀ ní ìdádẹ́rọ́ báyìí. Torí pé ìlú tí a gbéra wá ní ìlú tó pẹ̀lẹ́ ní Nàìjíríà tí ò sí ààbò fún àwa ta wà ń bẹ̀. Àwọn Fúlàní ń pa wá, wọ́n ń ba gbogbo dúkìá bàbá wa jẹ́, wọ́n fi kù tí wọ́n ṣe. Wọ́n rẹ́pọ̀ àwọn àti àwọn àbúrò wa, ó ti ṣe fídíò, wọ́n mọ̀ jẹ́ káyì. Ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ wá jẹ́ ẹ̀tún fẹ́ hàn wá. Fúdí èyí tó ẹgbẹ́ ń bẹ ní gbogbo ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá bọ̀rọ̀ pé àfẹ́ wọn mọ́. Ní orílẹ̀ wa, kálukó ti rẹ̀ fún. Ìlú bẹ̀rẹ̀ pọ́ọ̀pì fún òótọ́ ọ̀fun pè. Kí ni mo sọ fún yìí? Wọ́n dáṣẹ́ ní ayé wọn, wọ́n lè gbẹ́nu ara wọn. Àlàáfíà wà bẹ́ẹ̀, àbọ̀ wà bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, wọ́n ti lọ jẹ adúró, wọ́n lọ ṣe ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ ṣe ṣe oríṣiríṣi ìpínlẹ̀ bẹ̀. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ wá ní kí wọ́n mọ gba ìwé wọn ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀. Nígbà tí àwa gbọ́dú, ìlú Ghana, wọ́n máa ń wá lu wálẹ̀ Yorùbá. Lábàáyọ tó ń jọ àdẹ̀pẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní wọ́n lè ṣe. Gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ Nàìjíríà bí òsì Yorùbá bẹ̀. Ọdún kẹrìndínlógún rèé tí ọmọ Yorùbá ti ṣe àìsí. Bùrọ̀dá ìṣèjọba àwọn ọmọdé rẹ̀ Yorùbá òde bẹ̀rẹ̀. Hausa Fúlàní ló ṣe, àwọn náà ń ṣe ọ̀dà sójà, àwọn náà ń ṣe mẹ́tẹ̀, àwọn náà ń ṣe ta gbogbo kẹta lé kùtù bá ti kan. Wọ́n náà fún wa ní vice president Esther Kaya, dọ́mítà tí ó lè sọ̀rọ̀, tí ó lè gbé ìrẹ̀kọ́ Yorùbá. A lè rí pé gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa tó lọ́wọ́ ṣèlú yìí, wọ́n ń tà wá ní, wọ́n fi wá gbàgbé, wọ́n fi wá ṣe business, wọ́n fi wá gba contract. Òkú díẹ̀ yìí, ẹlẹ́fà ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, gbogbo àwọn ọba pátápátá látòrí ọ̀ní aláàbò gbogbo ọba tí tẹ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ bí báyìí. Ṣùgbọ́n bá a bá fẹ́ sọ fún akọ́wọ̀ òsínbẹ̀ ó ṣe fídíò. Gbogbo Yorùbá rí. Gbogbo àwọn tó ṣe kọ̀ọ̀rọ̀. That's the point. Bàbá wa tó ṣe gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tí bàbá wa sọ ìṣúná wa ìyá nígbà tó mọ̀ sí. Gbogbo àwọn àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ̀ sí. Gbogbo ọ̀dọ́ Yorùbá mọ̀ sí. Àgbààgbà tí bá bẹ́ẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí tó bá ní òun ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀sìn kẹ́sì bàbá máa ń ṣe àtúntò sílẹ̀ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ti fídíò. Àkọ́sí ìfẹ́ láti òní tí bàbá wa ti sọ̀rọ̀ bàbá wa ti sàlẹ̀. A sì ti gbàgbọ́ ẹgbẹ́ ìdí olóyún bàbá. Ọ̀dọ̀ sí ẹ̀mí kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n lọ fún àwọn Yorùbá tó fi àtọ́ sí ìgbàlejò. Tí ẹ wá ń kọ́ bàbá ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́pàá kan tàbí sọ́jà kan tàbí ẹ̀sọ̀ kan ó fi ọwọ́ kan wọ́n lọ́wọ́ kan tó lò ní ìrọ̀lẹ́. Àfẹ́ gbogbo Fúlàní àti nípa lórí ilẹ̀ wa mọ́. Láti sísí lọ, a lè fẹ́ ìta gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa ní ọ̀sán jẹ́ àgbẹ̀ kan padà fún wọn. láti ọ̀la lọ á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbogbo ìdẹ́kùn láti mọ bá ọ̀sán ọgbọ́n ọmọ padà tó kún rẹ̀ ní ìrọ̀ á bẹ̀ rí pé amójútó wọn níbi pé àní rí fúlàní kankan tó yọ wọlé mọ́ pé nígbà wọn fúlàní wọ́n jẹ oko wọn bá dúkìá bàbá wa jẹ́ wọ́n jẹ oko wọn bá dúkìá bàbá wa jẹ́ láti lè jẹ́ pé kí àwọn ọmọ kó ata tí wọn àti tòmátì wọn àti tòmátà kó wa wọ́n ti wọ́n lẹ́rú. Ẹni pé gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní fúlàní ti wá tó àbí fúlàní tó ju àfẹ́ àwọn bàbá wa lọ. Àdẹ̀dúgbò náà bàbá wa Olúbàdàn bàbá dáadáa wọ́n ti yọ ẹni pé wọ́n ti gba agbára kó lọ́wọ́ lórí kíkà wọ́n ní kó wà lábẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ ìṣòro tó bó ti yẹ kó wà nìyẹn. Gbogbo ìyá tí àwọn fúlàní ti jẹ wá gbogbo agbára tó ń lò yìí kó o tí ì fi ọmọ Yorùbá kan dá kó lówó ẹ̀mí fún wọn. Àwọn Yorùbá náà ń tẹ́lẹ̀ wọn lágbára kẹta kí ló dé táwa ń ṣe ẹrú nílùú tí wọ́n ti bí wa. Kí ló dé bí àwọn ṣe ẹrú nílùú tí wọ́n ti bí wa. Ó lè jẹ́ pé àwọn tí wọ́n ń pera wọn ní sẹ́nítọ̀ tí wọ́n ń pera wọn ní ọ̀rẹ́ ẹrú nìkan sọ lórí wa wọ̀nyí. Wọ́n máa lọ nínú gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́n rí àwọn ọmọ ọdún mẹ́rin ọmọ ọdún márùn-ún tí wọ́n ń ta dúdú tí wọ́n ń ta bọ́bọ́ wọ́n lè fún wọn rájọ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rí pé ẹni pa ọmọ ìṣòro yìí. Òkú ni èyí àbẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ́ òun ta fẹ́ ẹwọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń gbé káàkiri. Àgbọ̀yọ orílẹ̀-èdè ní Yorùbá pọ̀ jùlọ. Àgbọ̀yọ orílẹ̀-èdè ní Yorùbá pọ̀ jùlọ. Kí ló wá dé àwọn gbogbo àgbáyé gbogbo àwọn United Nations kíkiri òtó ń dá wàhálà rẹ̀ kó tó dògùn àwọn ọkọ̀ wa. Tí wọ́n bá wá wá kí ló wá gbọ́ àfẹ́wọ́ àárọ̀ ọ̀gbọ́n wá ta. Ó tó di pé yóò dògùn tí wọ́n bá wá dá sí lọ́kọ̀ọ́jà sọ́rọ̀. Torí pé bíi ìkẹ́kẹ́ lọ́sì àwọn òṣèlú abẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Àdúgbò ìjọba ká má lè sọ̀rọ̀, ká má lè sùn, ká má lè gbé àsúnlé wa ọkọ̀ balẹ̀, àárín lọ lórí rìn ọkọ̀ balẹ̀. Kí ló dé? Sẹ́rù ni wá ní. Àṣàyé wà, àwọn olórí láti yàn, a lè láṣẹ mọ́. Tí ká wa ní Èkó ń bí, àbábá gbogbo àwọn tí ń sọ lórí bẹ́ẹ̀ Fúlàní ni wọ́n. Àbẹ̀ wọn. Pọ́ọ̀tù wa náà ní pọ́ọ̀tù méjèèjì. Fúlàní ní kọ̀ǹtúrò wa ń bẹ̀. Àbẹ̀ wọn. Gbogbo ilé pọ̀tù wa ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Fúlàní ní sọ lórí bẹ́ẹ̀. Àbẹ̀ wọn. Sẹ̀mẹ̀ mọ́dà. Àbẹ̀ Fúlàní bẹ̀ wọn. Láti sísí lọ sí bàbá bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ kan. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kẹta náà ṣe mítì. Á lọ sí gbogbo mọ́dà wa lẹ̀. Láìsọ̀ lè wọ wọlé. Ó ti ọ̀rẹ́ lọ. Why don't we?
No, Ninas.
So quickly, if you can hear me back again to Ibadan. Professor, it has been a wonderful time.
All right.
Can you hear me very quickly?
Therefore, there should be no reason why we cannot all work together for the people's commitment. From this so my advice to the youth doctrine is gather yourself together. Bring yourself together. Speak to our elders who are still hesitating about Nigeria. There is no need for any Yoruba person to talk about structuring now, or about the youth of Nigeria, or about the resource control, and things like that. The game is up. We have seen enough of Nigeria. Provided our status in the world today, and they're going to move forward. We are going to have a separate very soon. Thank you very much.
So that's a very fine place to leave it. Thank you, all of you that joined us today. So thank you very much, everyone that joined us today. That's a very fine place to leave it. The professor has made his final closing remark, and the conversation and the proclamation and press conference, as you all heard him say, that the 90 days that was given to the Nigerian government is expired. Therefore, as he read, that they will now begin the process of demanding for their self-determination as demanded by NINAS. On that note, I will say thank you once more for joining us this evening. I am still Mazi Ezoke, and once more, this is still Injanja Media TV. If you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, this video that you just watched now, many of you on the Zoom, you can see that the link to play back this video and share so that you can watch with others. Some of you have been requesting a link for the download. You can as well use that link that is being shared now from the back office for the download as you have requested. On that note, I will say thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Odùduwà ò fọ́tẹ̀ tún ṣe nìyẹn kò sóṣì kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ ọmọ onílẹ̀ fẹ́ ló lẹ̀ Odùduwà. 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 Yorùbá nation ti dé o. Ó ti dé. Odùduwà. Odùduwà. Jọ pé